So this place right here is one of the places that I used to sleep at. I was hanging out with this homeless girl that I met over here, and I haven't seen her since I've been here. Maybe she moved on, I don't know, or maybe she got a place to go live at. I'm not for sure what's going on. I've been looking for her. It's kind of like you lose a lost dog or something. I'm not calling her a dog, but you know, or you got left behind because you have to go somewhere and that dog lives with somebody else, or it's somebody else's dog. And I'm looking for that person and I can't find them, and it breaks my heart. Before I left here, I was a little sad that I had to leave here. I was really hoping when I come back here that I would find this person, but so far I haven't seen them. They're not really doing that. We're doing that great, you know. I wasn't doing that great in the end, but then I started getting back right again in the end too. So I mean, when I went back to Texas, I started doing like way better. So I would just sleep right here. This is the spot. Let me see. Had a little tarp up here and everything. There was like a big cover right here, but when it rained, you're not getting protected right here. I was gonna make it where the tarp was like up here, and so the water would fall off or something. But you would still have to have like some kind of I got the perfect thing at my house now that I could sleep right here. It's like it's almost like a float, an air float. So I would call this my old home. Yeah, it's $1 million bridge. You can't beat that, can you? And so before the last time I met her, I ran down there, and there's a covering down there, and I thought she was coming with me, but she went somewhere else. I don't know why she didn't just come down there and talk to me. And so 3 months later, I have no idea where this person's at. Might not ever see them again. Who knows? Something bad could have happened to her. Looks like somebody else has been down here living the city life. I think those are even my ropes. I think I had those ropes down here. This is like during October, and we're February, March. We're in March right now, and my ropes are still down there. No, it's not a bad place to live. It's just one time this person woke me up. You never know what could come out, what could happen to you at nighttime. You just gotta kind of hope for the best. You got a killer view here. So I wish I could find this person, but I can't, and I forgot her name, so I can't walk up to people and be like, hey, you know this person? It says not to climb these. Can you believe that? There's a boat. Woo! Wonder how the top place is. Oh, it looks like nobody's on top. You can see people right here though. That's a pretty good camera for Samsung. Now they have a 24, so it's gotten better. Bye-bye. So before I left, I was down here and it was about to rain. She was over there. She was packing up her stuff, putting it all. I gave her a tarp and stuff, gave her some other stuff, you know, stuff to help her out. Left her with a bike, all kinds of stuff. I still haven't seen her rolling around on that bike. I could easily spot her out. I'm thinking maybe she would trade it off for something like that, you know, somebody that needed a bike. But there was this other homeless person that was over there too, and then I went down here. Them two didn't really get along, so when I walked down here, I went down there. I was thinking she was gonna be there. I even went all the way to 7-Eleven to go get some money to help her out because I just got paid, and she, like, when I went down there, she wasn't there. I will now show you the spot. So I'm running all the way from up there. Here comes a thunderstorm. So I was right here, and there's a covering right here, and it was during the thunderstorm, so I was safe from the thunderstorm. And so I got on the Greyhound. I was like, I told God, I said, if you get me back to the Greyhound, then I'll go back to Texas. So I ended up staying in Texas for about 3 or 4 months. I was only going to be there until Christmas, but then I ended up staying there even longer. So that was the last time I seen my friend, and then she disappeared. I've been with some people that walked down there while I was laying down with that other person. She had an umbrella. I just had a sleeping bag. So I came back the next day, and I was everything was wet. So I like put all her stuff over there at the top, hung up sort of, and left my bag, which was dry, my sleeping bag that was dry. So that right there is my house for a little while. I was just thinking about something like this, you know. They made that Jesus Feet commercial. With all that money, they could have bought something like that. Instead of talking about Jesus washing a bunch of sinners' feet, he only washed one sinner's feet, and that was Judas, who put him up on the cross. Him and all the other people. It wasn't just Judas to blame. But God said, forgive them. Judas chose the wrong way. I never really think I lived on this side, because I noticed my ropes are up on the other side. But like, there was just somebody I was talking to earlier. He was like, he wants to change all this. You know, I want to change everything too, but there was never like the funds or anything like that for me to be able to change the way it is in this world. You got people who have a lot of money and they don't want to help out the homeless, or they choose to help out one little certain people that are, you know, poor or something like that. Like I was seeing this thing with the white talkers or inbreed family, and people are trying to send them money, and instead of getting them a house, they spent it on other things because the lady wanted the money. She didn't want the house, you know. Well, that's why you get stuck in that one place. And then she sat there and lied about it. Like, what I was thinking is like, how do you like really help out the homeless, because a lot of them want to drink and do drugs and other things that are not good. Like, how do you control that situation? I mean, you don't have to control them, but stop them from doing what they're doing. And the only thing I can think is let's pray all night and fast all night. And some people don't want to turn from who they are, or you know, they're gonna stay like that until the day they die, because that's what they enjoy. It took me a lot to get back to the life that I shouldn't be that I should be living with God, with Jesus. And there was a lot going on, you know, with me, and like, it was kind of like a sign that brought me back to God. I don't know, maybe there should be like the environment just seems like, hey, how can you help these people out? And it's like, I don't think there is a way to help out some people. Like, I had miracles from God that happened to me, and I still turned from God. And it took me, a lot of things happened to me spiritually, I mean, signs and wonders, and I still turned from God. And it's like 20 something years later, when I started praying, or a pastor I seen street preaching, maybe he started praying, him and his family, for me, and maybe that's part of the reason some of this happened to me, because I was feeling sleep paralyzed, and then I heard thunder, and it was like God was still on my side, even though like I was doing bad. I don't think he's gonna put up with that sinful life, because Jesus says like he will burn the bad ones, you know. And I'm not saying that some people will have some kind of thing that happens to them, like the thief on the cross, and somehow in the end, and one's saved and the other one isn't. Like, only God can answer some of these questions. I think the best thing is not take a chance. Because why would you want to do that? And most of the reason why we follow God as Christians is out of love. It's not out of fear. The fear thing, I don't think the fear really, we should fear God. We don't think like that. Many of us don't. I think a lot of us come to God in love instead of fear, but we should fear Him. Fear is love in a sense when you're fearing God. I know when I fall, I always think about, like, I should have did right. And it hurts me that I did wrong. And then I was like, well, I enjoyed it for a moment. But then when it came down to it, I ain't liking it no more. And it's really a sad situation to be on that, feeling like that. God made a beautiful world that we could all enjoy, and sometimes we have things in our lives, sins that we really pleasure in and they feel good, and we don't want to let go of those sins. But it's like when you do wrong, you have that guilt in you, and then you want to get it right. And that's how you do it. So you just keep on getting back up. A righteous man will fall many times, but he'll get back up.